Hello and welcome to UAT Time within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us at the frequencies available at our website firstua.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy.
And I am Olivier Vedrine. UAT Time is dedicated to bring Ukraine and Europe closer to each other by introducing the real Ukraine to the rest of the world.
One of the reasons to justify its actions in Crimea and eastern Ukraine has been a so-called fight with fascism. Is there fascism in Ukraine, or the so-called anti-fascists are the proponents of the ideology which we all have thought to be buried back in 1945?
Our guest today is Obuhov, an activist, a former political prisoner in the Soviet Union.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You were a prisoner during the Soviet Union period. Can you talk to us about this period of your life?
Well, I think it's well-known things for almost everybody, I hope, because many people remember what it was in the Soviet Union. And I stayed in a camp from 81 till 85 and exiled from 85 till 87. Then I was pushed out from Soviet Union and I left Leningrad first time in 88 and traveled to London, and from London to Germany and to New York, to United States, because Congress of United States granted me political asylum even I was in Soviet Union, so before I left Soviet Union. So it was anti-Sovietical propaganda and it was my manuscript. So it was kind of...
Because the thing is, I'm the one that, was born in the Soviet Union, but unfortunately, or to my, or I'm kind of fortunate that I did not see that side of Soviet Union. I saw a different side, which a lot of people say that, that's why a lot of people say Soviet Union was good, because they didn't see anything else. They saw only the positive side. But you ended up to be on the other side. Why was that? What did you see? And what made you to be against Soviet Union back then?
Well, in reality, it wasn't really, against people against Soviet Union.
Okay.
In my case, it was against communism, and I belong to anti-communism activist and a kind of dissident. But in my mind, it wasn't anything what I want to just really dissolve Soviet Union, really to dramatically change. We want to change system from totalitarian Soviet system to democratic system. So what I call, I was anti-communist, but not really anti-Sovietical kind of activist, but it's kind of similar. So it's
in a sense, yes. But at the same time, it's been like so many years, but you are right now in opposition again. Now you're engaged against Putin policy in Ukraine and, well, I would say even in Russia as well. You mentioned the word totalitarianism versus democracy, or democracy versus totalitarianism. Is the situation hasn't changed?
Well, I think the situation changed only kind of not system, not really system, because unfortunately, we lost our fight for democracy. So, in Russia came to power, I can say, crooks and criminals. Mm-hmm. So, because KGB, it is kind of collaborated all time with this sort of people in Soviet Union. Even now, there's a lot of evidence that they collaborate with criminals. Mm-hmm. KGB, and now who is in charge of Kremlin mm-hmm. in Soviet Union, was and in Russia now. So, I think it's not so really changed drastically in my country, unfortunately. And I know Putin personally. He looks like a normal bureaucrat, but now he's really, came to some sort of terrorist and criminal. It's my point. And it's just changed during the last 10, 15 years. So what happened with him?
So do you think he wasn't like this before? Well, just changed gradually.
He changed during when he stayed in power. So,
okay.
and
money and power.
Yeah, rest of people who surrounding him is just supporting him because they depend on what they got from system, not from Putin personally, but from system. So.
Olivier, you've done articles on that and on the modern politics of Russia and Kremlin as in Putin, of course. What is your opinion on that? What do you think?
I think Russia lost his war against totalitarianism and lost his way to democracy during the 90s, at the end of the 90s. And when really the KGB system come back in the power. And now this is the result of this loss. And for me, this is not only Putin, but a system of Siloviki who manage now Russia. And I am totally agree with German. You have a partnership between former KGB or Siloviki and mafia system. And they work together very closely and they make money together. And that's the key issue. If you want to understand now what's happened in Russia, you have to think like a Siloviki, but also like part of a mafia system. And for me, this is very important, and to underline this fact. And now I think the system is at the end. The system is at the end, and the system has to revival or it will disappear. And we are now at the end of this period. And this is very large risk period.
Yeah. Well, by the end of this period, do you mean the endeavor of Russia to swallow Ukraine?
No, we are at the end of this post-Soviet or the Putin system.
No, I know, but what are the signs that we are at the end? What are the signs?
The sign is decreasing economy.
Decreasing
economy.
Okay, because of sanctions.
Yeah. Not only that, but the price of the oil also is decreasing. And another thing is territorial integrity.
Yes.
More and more independent activists in the Russian Federation want more liberty. And I think we have big interior problems in Russia. And in my way, if Russia cannot do, because they did not, but cannot do now or will do reforms, I think Putin can be the last president of the Russian Federation.
Well, actually, we'll need to come back to that. But you mentioned about the interior problems, and that more and more people are dissatisfied, and they become opposition. Well, my question for you, Herman, would you please tell us, how do you feel the opposition in Russia? How well is it? How how active, how big is it? Because, with the, killing of Nemtsov, it basically was a sign probably to some opposition activists.
Well, I mean, I met Boris a couple of times, so I know him personally. It's a very nice guy. But unfortunately, Russian opposition, it's not so strong. It's kind of dissolved and not consolidated. And maybe Boris able to do something to consolidate, but, well, honestly, I have some doubt. But now we just talk kind of in theory, but at this time I cannot see any person who able to consolidate and who able to put together all opposition. But in any city and any town, we have some opposition, but it's just all around, but not what I said, not consolidate. Unfortunately, we are not have stronger position in Russia. Hopefully, maybe in future we can do something better than now.
Yeah, because I hear some things in Novosibirsk and some other places where some things come up and then suddenly disappear.
Yeah, but most effective St. Petersburg and in Moscow, for sure. Yeah, it's two big cities.
This is the history of Russia. Everything happened in St. Petersburg or in Moscow.
Yeah. True. And everything is vital.
But I am very, now everybody say that 80% of the Russian citizens are for Putin. Yes, but I say always 80% were for Stalin also. Then, in Russia, everything depends on the head of the government. And if tomorrow Putin will disappear, everybody say, oh, we were against Putin. And 80% will say, we were against Putin. Putin was not a good man. This is, in Russia, the person change very quickly, depend of the head of the power. Because we are in authoritarian government, way of thinking, and the Russian has now criticism way of thinking. They think as the chief think.
Yeah. Well, now let's move on. The opposition in Russia, as you said, is quite weak right now. But what could other countries like European Union, USA, help the opposition to do its work, to educate people, to let people know what's happening, what is going on in reality?
Well, a lot of things need to be done. So, and it's interesting that a few days ago, maybe a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, we start to think about to create Russian government in exile. So we have to talk to a few people who is living in Germany, in Great Britain, in France, in the United States. Hopefully we can create this team and to claim to something to do from European Union, United States to support our activity. It needs to be done, I believe, TV channel, which able to broadcast through satellite and Moscow, St. Petersburg, rest of country, and by kind of talented professional journalists and people who able to talk about truth, talk about reality, talk about Ukraine, talk about the rest of the world, and it's to be very helpful leverage to change mind and through people, regular people in Russia. So you can look in our website, www.stopfascism.org, and you can see what plans are. I mean, what we want to do.
Why do you think that what is happening in Russia is a typical fascism?
Because this very simple, and what saying Moscow is just saying like kind of imagination. It's just no any basic things, no ground to tell about fascism in Kiev. But in reverse, if you talk about fascism in Russia, there's few signs, few actually, I can say, reason to call fascism in Russia. It's first is imperial chauvinism. Second one is merge all power in Russia, legislator, executive, military, business elite, and mass media. And third one is aggression against neighbors and annexation of also neighbor territory. And I believe fourth one is political assassination and to start to heavy pressure on dissidents in Russia. And last one is kind of ideology, even hard to explain, or to present Führer in country.
Okay.
And to go like to present like idol for kind
I
of
totally agree. This is
like
No.
So it is, by my point, it's very clear five reasons, 5 signs to talk about fascism in Russia and indicated who is who and what happened. I mean,
that's what's very interesting what you say about this government in exile, because in one of our record I said that maybe Kiev can be a new London during the Second World War. We will have maybe here some government in exile, and maybe this Russian government in exile can be in Kiev, because Kiev is a symbol. This is the mother Russian town, you know, Russian towns, and that's very important. And for me, that can be a very, very strong tools for a counter propaganda against Putin policy. I want to underline a fact. We can do a lot of parallelism between Mussolini and Putin, and this is what can I say? The cult of the leaders, the leader, and now and that's why Putin has a lot of success with extreme right party and extreme left party in Europe, because they like this cult of the leader. They want a new Führer, you know. They want some new dictatorship for all Europe. And Putin is really that. And for me, this is a key point if you want to understand that now Russia is going on the road of a new fascist country.
Yes. Yeah, you know, the known phrase, quite well known, which has been recited over and over here, that the fascists in the future will call themselves as anti-fascists. You know, well,
Churchill. Churchill.
Yes, exactly,
right,
exactly.
right.
Well, it's like this. You mentioned that in Kyiv, where do you find fascists? I've lived here all of my life. Show me one. I want to see how he looks.
For example, Putin has the same policy than Hitler. For example, the Sudets, you know, the annexion of the Sudets.
Yes.
This is the same with Crimea and Donbass.
Exactly.
The same logic.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's what is happening. Herman, what do you think about the sanctions? Are they sufficient? Are they good enough against Russia?
by my point, is no sanction. By my point, it's just a warning. Yeah. Because the real sanction it should be totally embargo and oil sell in Russia. Okay. Not oil from Russia at all. It's just health budget, Russian budget. Mm-hmm. So, and another thing, it's a very, very seriously sanction against Russia is fifth, just shut up. So if it's two sanctions to be implemented towards Russia.
No oil from Russia?
No oil from Russia.
And the second one?
SWIFT just cut off.
Okay.
So if it's implemented to this sanction, the economy dead during 1 year, totally. So, but now it's just, I think it's not sanction. It's just say, hey, stop, do that. So otherwise.
Isn't that quite typical for Europe? Europe is quite gentle. It's trying to little by little.
Yeah. That's a big problem we have in Europe. Europe is gentle, not because we are gentle in Europe, but because they really don't understand the mentality of Putin and of the Putin elite. Because, you know, if you want to fight against Putin, you have to fight, you have to take the same tools, you have to think like a Siloviki. You know what is a Siloviki? Yeah. And in European Union, they think like, they hope that Putin will recognize human rights, freedom. No, never. Yeah. He has the same mentality.
Well, he has a mentality of a bully in the high school.
And I think it's just some sort of collaboration with Kremlin I'm sorry, just in the European Union. So it is a lot of people who want to collaborate and want to cooperate even with Putin. So it's just a lot of indication of it.
But you know that the European Parliament voted for SWIFT. The European Parliament is okay to put to cut SWIFT system for Russia. The European Parliament, but
if not going further. So I mean, it was a kind of sort of.
They are okay.
Yeah.
But 100 shelling in the past 24 hours. it's not going forward, right? It's the stable situation, unfortunately. 100 shellings all across the line of separation, you know, into the Ukrainian, behind the Ukrainian positions. You know, that's the state of the conflict right now, unfortunately. But do you think the war in Donbass, how long will it last?
Well, by my point, I repeat and repeat, this war is just Putin's plan. And Putin wants to extend it as long as possible. This is not of any anti-terrorist operations. This is a war. And Europe and United States should understand this is a war with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. And what I'm saying is just, it's Putin plans is just now implemented in Ukraine, and he wants to as long as possible to extend it. And I don't know what Europe and the United States want to do, but it's just unfortunately it's every day killing people, civilian and military, and really heavy damage. I don't know what they want to do.
I agree with you. I think that this war will continue, and this is a Putin plan, and it will not stop in the Donbass. Never. Yes. Remember, for me, we are if I take a parallel with history, we are in 1938. We are during the Munich period. We are in the same way of thinking. Say, oh, Hitler is very good. He will not attack again. Give Czechoslovakia, give the Czech Republic to him. Give Austria. And it will be good, no problem. And after that, he attacked Poland.
Yes.
And we are in the same way. We are in this way of Munich mentality. We will have, I think we will have more problem with Putin. More problem with Putin.
Well, just one point. I think it's a major thing. It's why they're a little bit afraid, because they think, oh, well, we remember history. We don't want third world war. So it's just, I think. So it's kind of a wrong way, because it's big difference between the Soviet Union power and now it's no any real nuclear power in Russia. It is just bluff. It is just nuclear bluff. It's no ability to fight Putin with the rest of the world. No ability.
I am totally agree with you. He doesn't have the instrument to do a global war. He doesn't have the instrument to do the global war. This is a bluff. Putin is now playing a poker party.
Well, let's have a special talk show committed to that and really discuss and investigate the poker party.
The Russian army is not efficient. This is not the Red Army of the Soviet Union.
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, that's true. Well, the time is up, and we've had quite an interesting discussion. Yes, there are a lot more questions and issues, but maybe you want to add a final thought.
Well, I very hope that European Union, United States, actually, it's my country, United States, they are able to understand what's going on in Ukraine, and they're able to support people who start to fight against Putin propaganda, against Putin on volunteers level. So we need really support from real organization like European Union, European Parliament, some foundation, some businesses, because we are trying to do it need to be support really strongly.
Okay.
I want to say, please do your government in exile. That's a great idea.
Oh, that is a great idea. We had a special guest today, Herman Obuhov, an activist, former political prisoner. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
It was United Country UAT time by First Ukraine. Thanks for joining us for a cup of tea.
Olivier, Vedrine and Sergey Velichanskiy were working for you in the studio. Stay with us and we will show you the real Ukraine.
Thank you for being with us. Have a good day and see you soon.
Thank you.